So here's my recommendations. First of all, no screen time is just not possible. This is not possible in this world. So it's really good to focus on joint media attention. So using screen time as a time to look at quality videos together and educate the child, that's always recommended. In terms of time frames, I would say it depends on the age. When a child is in their school age years, 1 to 2 hours is probably reasonable, but you have to monitor that. And you should make no screen time zones in the house. So that could be the dinner table, for example, that could be the living room, but certain areas where you just don't bring your devices in, and you can actually have a bin outside of the door of those areas. Throw your devices in before you enter. When you leave, you can take your device out again.
One of the best things about devices nowadays is, as a parent, you can actually see the amount of screen time. It gives you those statistics. So set some limits, figure out what works best for you. Show me the money! Show me the money! Parents, what would you do to keep your kids off of screens? Would you pay them cold, hard cash? A recent poll revealed that 23% of moms and dads have bribed their kids with cash to limit their screen time.
Not a good idea.
You don't like this, do you?
No, I'm not really into paying kids to do something they're not supposed to be doing, like a positive feedback for something they're not supposed to do. So for screen time, there's several things you can do to avoid it. So the World Health Organization and the American Academy of Pediatrics recommend that we only limit screen time to about an hour a day. And this is different from the past for 2 hours. So you want to have screen-free zones in your home, like no TV in the kids' rooms. You want to model free screen kind of behavior. So as an adult, you're taking care of your kids, read a book, play with them outside. Like in my home, I have 2 daughters, age 3 and 5, and we have dance parties where we just turn on some music and we dance.
I love that.
So things like that to avoid the screen time. Yes, it's okay just a little bit. You know, I come home and I'm cooking and I need a little bit of free time, just 30 minutes, and they know it's up after 30 minutes and they're off doing something active.
So cash is for chores and things like that. You don't pay your kids to not do something. Setting limits on kids' screen time, that's a hot topic right now. One California mom ended her screen struggle with her 5 kids by banning all of them for 30 days. But get this, the ban isn't what makes this a story, it's that her kids loved it. That mom, Molly, joins us to explain, along with pediatrician Dr. Daphne Adut. I love this, Molly. Congratulations. But more importantly, I am absolutely ecstatic that it was a success, not for just you, but your kids.
Me too. It was shocking, honestly. I was really surprised.
So how did it come about, and then how long until your kids were like, wait a minute, we like this?
Yeah. Well, you know, I have 5 kids, ages 4 to 10, and a couple months ago, my husband and we started seeing some behaviors we didn't like, and we didn't know what it was. We weren't sure if it was sugar or lack of sleep, but we did notice they had trouble transitioning from a screen to not a screen. So one day I came home from running errands and one of my kids greeted me at the door with, "Can I play on your phone?" And that was it for me. I called my husband, I said, "We're taking a break, this is out of control." And he said, "Let's do it, I'm in." So that night we told them at dinner, we said, "We're pulling the plug, guys, until further notice." And there were a lot of tears.
I am kind of curious when your kids went from tears to the aha moment of, we're happier.
Yeah, so that was the crazy thing. I anticipated a really hard time with this, but the next morning they woke up and they didn't even ask for screens. They started entertaining themselves with couch forts and Lego building and reading books. Imagine that. So I was really surprised. We saw results immediately and their behavior got so much better. So we were just really pleased with the results.
And Molly, I love the part of your story where then each child really had their unique interests, and then you got to foster that and help them develop that your daughter began to read more. And so she was the reader, so then you did more things to sort of help prompt her to read more and to encourage that.
Yeah, absolutely. We started to see, I mean, she already loved reading, but now that screens were off the table, she would just devour books. And my son, he has really taken to art, and he wanted to teach the whole family how to draw, so he led an art class for the family. So once it was removed, we got to see, you know, what are their gifts and what are their interests, and let's feed those things, and it's been really fun.
There's some medical data that has shown that Kids who spend more than 2 hours of TV a day have difficult time with their behaviors. Things such as externalizing behavior, where they would be more physically aggressive, they would be cheating, stealing, defiant, and disobedient, and internalizing behaviors like anxiety, depression, fearfulness, feeling down in general. So emotionally, this is definitely affecting them in a negative way. Other things that are associated with this is inattentiveness, inability to focus in school, in their classes, on their homework. And even in teenagers, it has been shown that there's increased levels of suicidality in kids that are just sitting in front of the TV the whole day and not talking to their peers or their parents. And another big one is kids ages 4 to 10 spending more than 3 hours of their time on TV have increased levels of insulin resistance, weight gain, and adiposity, which means they're just sitting there and their risk of diabetes goes up the roof. So what this all means is that less TV is better. Get outside and play. Reading books, just like what Molly's kids have done, definitely
And we're
helps a
equating
lot.
TV and screen time, putting it into one box. But there's good data now. There's actually some good studies out there that show too much screen time is bad. Is there a sweet spot? I'm guessing that even you would agree there's a healthy amount of screen time. From a pediatrician's perspective, what do you tell your patients?
Right, so it's all
families?
really like a balance. I understand that we need a little bit of downtime at the end of the day to watch TV and relax, but we really need to kind of put a time cap on it. So you're having your kids come home from school and they want to relax, maybe 30, 45 minutes of TV, and then go out and do your homework or do your extracurricular activities.
So Molly, can you talk a little bit about how you've incorporated screen time back into these kids' lives in a healthy way?
Yeah, absolutely. So our goal wasn't to take away all technology, it was to find its right place in our home for our kids. And so we have landed on 1 hour, 1 day a week. They get to use technology how they want to on an iPad or a video game or something. And then sometimes we'll use it to watch a family movie together, or if they want to have a cousin movie night, that's fantastic. But it's no longer a part of their daily life for now.
Do you have a top tip for other parents who want to try to implement something like this?
Yeah, I would recommend a screen detox, and I would just encourage you that you can do it. I was terrified to do it. I thought it would be so hard. I would get a ton of pushback, but you can. It's easier than you think, and you will see results faster than you think.
Great takeaway.